The problem child years, age 6 to age 10, 1997 to 2001. Without realizing it, I began reaching for ways to cope with what I felt, but I didn't hide it quietly. My sensitivity often exploded outward. I masked it through rage, tantrums, angry outbursts, or by blaming others. Sometimes that intensity turned into mischief. One time, while playing hide and seek, I tricked a friend into falling through a grate onto cushions I had set up below. Other times, I'd grab a peanut butter and jelly sandwich and launch it at the wall just to see if it would stick. I was a problem child. So much so that my sisters used to joke they found me in a field. My sensitivity didn't just show up emotionally. It showed up in my body. I used to get severe nosebleeds that would come out of nowhere. One winter day when I was about 12, I lost my house key after school and stood outside waiting. My nose suddenly burst and blood spilled across the snow. By the time my mom got home, I wasn't there anymore. All she saw was blood everywhere on the white ground. To her, it looked like a murder scene, and she was terrified. Something had happened to me. I also remember earaches so brutal they felt like my head was splitting open. On family road trips, the pressure would build until I couldn't take it anymore. I'd start screaming loud, guttural, blood-curdling screams of pain until my dad had to pull the car off the highway into some empty parking lot. My sisters sat in the back seat frozen. My cries shook them so deeply that they told me later it traumatized them for weeks afterward. My sensitivity wasn't invisible. It bled out of me, sometimes literally. But there was another side of me, too. The part that could be tender, nurturing, and protective. I remember once with my cousin finding a crow with a broken wing. Instead of running off to play or throwing rocks like other kids might have, we carefully nursed it back to health. For weeks, that crow became our little project. We fed it, sheltered it, and did what we could to give it a chance. That moment showed me, even then, beneath the chaos was a boy who longed to love, to protect, to heal. It was easier to project the storm or the prank than to sit in the raw ache underneath. Little by little, I learned that showing the soft side of my inner world could overwhelm people, or worse, invite rejection. So I buried that tenderness and let the fire and chaos do the talking. What I didn't know then was that my body was already keeping score. My chest would tighten, my stomach would knot, my sleep would vanish after conflict. I thought I was weak, too fragile for the world. In reality, I was a child trying to survive in a family culture where sensitivity wasn't well understood, where it could be dismissed in some and unregulated in others. That mismatch didn't make me broken, it made me human. But because I couldn't see it that way, shame slipped in early. And shame became the soil where so many of my later struggles took root. That soil of shame was waiting for a seed. And when the ADHD label came, it sank deep, wrapping around every part of my identity.